big, long list. We're going to do some problems in your book. And so I'm going to clear this board, and we're going to do number 1 together. In your book, it's asking you for the common factors. Now, that means you need to list them all, because you have to list all the common factors. So, but luckily, these are easy numbers, so it won't take us very long. The numbers are 9 and 12. So let's go ahead and list our common factors. Write number 1 on your paper. Let's list all the factors for 9. 1, 3, and 9. And all the factors for 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. 3 and 4 are partners. 2 and 6 are partners, and 1 and 12 is partners. So if I want to find the common factors, I'm going to circle all the ones that are the same. The 1s are the same, and the 3s are the same. So my common factors are 1 and 3. And I've listed the common factors. Number 2, try to write neatly on your paper. So you're going to put the 2 next underneath that. And the next numbers are 13 and 15. All right, we need to list all the factors. We're still trying to find common factors. The factors are 1 and 13. Nothing else goes into 13 times 1 times 13. For 15, it's 1, 3, 5, and 15. Now, is there anything that's the same in both lists? Well, the only number that's the same in both lists is a 1. So the common factors are just plain old 1. Common factors are 1, and you're done. So 1 is the greatest common factor too, but they're just asking you for all the common factors. Number 3, it's asking you for 24, 28, and 32. Now, unfortunately, they're asking you for all the common factors, so you're going to have to list all of these. 1 goes into 24, 2 goes into 24, 3 goes into 24, 4 goes into 24, 6 goes into 24. Yay, guess what? Bingo! I found my partners. 4 and 6 are partners, so I am going to stop asking myself a bunch of other numbers. Okay? Now, why didn't I stop at 3 and 8? They're partners. I found the partners. Well, you just need to find partners that are closest together. If there's nothing in between, the only thing that's 5 is in between them. So that I know I'm done now because there's nothing else smaller that goes in between them. So you need to get the closest ones that don't have anything else in between them. These numbers 4 and 6 just have 5, and I know 5 doesn't go into there. That's how I know I'm done. So I'm done finding my partners. I just need to find the rest of them. 3's partner is 8. 2's partner is 12. And 1's partner is 24. And then I'm finished with that one. For 28, 1 goes into it. 2 goes into it. I know because it's an even number. 3 does not, but 4 does. 5 doesn't go into 28. 6 doesn't go into 28, but 7 does. See, now, I've already asked myself about 5 and 6. There's no numbers in between here that's going to go into that. So, and I've got my first set of partners, and they're really super close together, and there's no numbers in between. So I'm done. I don't need to ask myself about 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 or 13 or 14. All I got to do is find my partners. So I've got 4 and 7 being partners. 2's partner is 14. And 1's partner is 28. So I have all my partners. 32, 1 goes into it. 2 goes into it. 3 does not go into it, so don't list it. 4 goes into it. 5 does not. 6 does not. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 5 is 30. 7 does not. 8 does. Okay, yay, look, I've already asked myself all the numbers between 4 and 8, and I have partners. So now I'm done. I don't need to ask myself about any other numbers. 2 times what is 32? 2 times 16 is 32. If you didn't know that, unfortunately, you'd probably have to do a little division. You have to do 32 divided by 16, 32 divided by 2, and you would see that it goes in there 16 times. So that's how you would get that. Okay, but I already know it's 16, so I just wrote 16. All right, so 2 times 16 are partners, and 1 times 32 are partners. Now I have all my partners. Now I'm going to list the common factors. 1 is a factor. 2 is in both lists. 4 is in all 3 lists. Make sure they have to be in all 3 lists, not just 2 lists. Now 8 is in these 2, but it's not in that one, so I don't list it. And there's nothing else. So my factors are 1, 2, and 4. All right. Let's skip number 4, and we're going to do number 5. Number 5, now this time we're lucky because it's only asking for the greatest common factor. So yay, we do not have to list all the factors. We're going to do the cake way because that's the easiest and fastest way. The numbers are 8 and 14. So we're going to write 8 and 14. We're going to put a little cake on top of it. We're going to figure out what 8 and 14 can be divided by. Well, I know that 2 goes into both of them. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and 2 goes into 14 7 times. Now, is there anything, if I put a cake on top of that, can I divide those by anything else? The only thing I can think of is 1. So I don't really need to put a 1 up there because they both go into 1's not going to really help us. 4 divides by 2, but 7 doesn't, so I can't divide by 2. It doesn't divide by 3. It doesn't have nothing else but 1. So if I'm done, and all I need to do is say that 2 is my greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor is 2. Number 6. Number 6, the numbers are 15 and 20. So give yourself a little bit of room, but you're going to write the 15 and 20 over here. You're going to put it in a little division bracket. We call it a cake. What goes into both of those? 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times, and 5 goes into 20 4 times. 3 and 4 are both numbers, and the only thing that goes into 3 is 1 and 3. I can't divide both of them by 3. I can't divide both of them by 2. The only thing I divide both of them by is by 1, so I am done. The greatest common factor equals 5. Okay? Number 7. Now, number 7 has 3 numbers. So leave a little bit of space between the last 2 because you may have to go up a little bit. I'm not sure if you have to on this one or not, but the 3 numbers are 21, 24, and 27. What can they all be divided by? Well, they can all be divided by 3. 3 goes into 21 7 times, 3 goes into 24 8 times, and 3 goes into 27 9 times. Now, the only thing I can divide 7 by is 1 and 7. Well, I can't divide 8 by 7. I can't divide by 9 by 7. So the only thing I can divide them by is 1. So I need to take these. If I wanted to, I would just say that 3 is my greatest common factor. Or I could multiply them together, 3 times 1, but 3 times 1 is still 3. So 3 is the greatest common factor. Let me make sure you write it this way. I'd rather you say greatest common factor equals 3. Number 8 are some other numbers. The numbers are 30, 48, and 60. All right, so put a cake on top of that. And I know that 6 goes into all of those, okay? Maybe you don't, but I do. So, and I'm trying to make it a fast way for you. 6 goes into 35 times, 6 goes into 48 8 times, and 6 goes into 60 10 times. Now, can I divide any of these by anything else? Well, 5 and 1 go into 5. 5 doesn't go into 8. 5 does go into 10, but it has to go into all 3 numbers. So the only thing you can divide them by is 1. So all you need to do is say that 6 is the greatest common factor. So the GCF equals 6, because 6 times 1 is 6. Okay? And you don't even need to list this if you don't want to. Once you figure out that 1's the only thing that goes into it, you can just leave the 5, the 8, and the 10 up there, and you're just done because 6 is the greatest common factor. All right, so these are how you find the greatest common factor and regular common factors. When you're just doing common factors, remember, you pretty much have to list them all. And so when your book asks for common factors, you really need to list them all because you're going to have to list every single factor that goes into all of them. So if you don't make a list of all of them, you're going to miss something. But if it tells you to find the greatest common factor, then feel free to use the cake method. And that shall give you the greatest common factor, the easiest and fastest way of all. We'll try some more of these tomorrow. I hope you have a good night. Bye.